Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is a great game. I don't care what anyone says, it's a great video game, and if you disagree, you're racist and sexist and homophobic and a communist, and you hate all people and others. And one of the main things I love about Nuts and Bolts is the mechanic of building different cars and seeing what you can do with them, completing different missions with them, and getting that sense of satisfaction from completing those missions. But what if we took that away? What if we tried to beat Nuts and Bolts with only the starter vehicle, the Trolley MK, and all of its upgrades? Is it possible? We shall see. But very quickly before we get into the challenge, like and subscribe. You don't get a choice. I'm not asking, I'm telling. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Now let's get into it. I start by quickly doing the tutorial. I didn't take too long on it. I don't really want to spend too much time on it in this video, since basically nothing is going to happen here. But very quickly, I just want to mention it, just because, you know. Once I got control of Banjo, I decided to just drive through Showdown Town for a bit, get used to my new vehicle, because it's the only one I'm going to be able to use. Tried to get up this hill, realised it didn't work, and then I spent about 5 minutes just trying to get up it through the bridgeway, because the regular way was boring, and it took too long, even though this actually took a while. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why? But eventually I was able to get up here, talk to Log, get the game sphere, it's spherical, and then go down and travel to Nutty Acres Act 1. The first thing I did was immediately talk to Klungo after I got out of my vehicle, and activated the mission where I went over to see what the cause of the smoke was. I don't have any other cars I can use right now, so I am forced to use the Trolley MK I, which is good because I have to use the Trolley MK I in this challenge. Nothing in this challenge was really different than a regular playthrough. It's basically the same as if you were to go play this game right now, except I'm better than you, and I beat the challenge pretty easily and got the TT trophy. Immediately after that was over, I decided to go and look for some Jinjos, and I immediately found one. I'm not actually sure if the Jinjo tokens actually give you any jiggies, but I'm going to try and get them anyways, just in case. The challenge was pretty easy anyways. It was literally just go and find the object, and I did that pretty easily. After figuring out where the object was, because it's been a while since I've done this mission, but that doesn't matter, because now I'm done, and I went on to find another Jinjo token. Once again, I immediately found it, and all you had to do was just reach the target speed that the Jinjo said, which was pretty easy, because I'd done it after literally 2 seconds. I didn't even realise I'd beat the mission, but that doesn't even matter, so let's just go. And after I got that token, I was finally done with Act 1. Oh yeah, I'm not getting all of the music notes, by the way, because that would just take too long, and that would also just distract from the main challenge at hand. After using a glitch that lets you fly for a bit to see the mansion grabbed by the ghoulies in the background, you can kind of see it now. Ghoul Easter egg, by the way. I went on to Act 2 of Nutty Acres. I went up to Mumbo to complete his mission of getting rid of the Nook that he owns, but then I realised something. Something dastardly. I wasn't allowed to do this mission, because it was a Log's Choice mission, which means I was forced to use something other than the Trolley MK, which meant I had to leave. I drove up to TT, the Nuts and Bolts one, not the Diddy Kong Racing one, and I decided to complete his mission, since I was actually allowed to use the Trolley MK1 on this one, and I actually beat it, with the TT trophy as well. But afterwards, I tried the Humba mission, where I had to put 3 rocks from a volcano into water to stop them from burning, but my vehicle was just simply too slow, and I wouldn't have been able to put the 3 rocks in the water in time to get a TT trophy, so I only got a Jiggy, which was still good. But after that, I found a Jinjo, and his mission for me was that I had to race him, and I won because I'm just that good at this game. But after that, I found a mission that I absolutely hate in the main game, where you have to deliver a Jinjo to a specific spot, but he kept falling out. But the good news is I don't have to do this mission, because I can't use the trolley in it. Woo! And then I found the final Jinjo, where I had to knock him out of an arena, while he tried to knock me out of an arena. And while I did have some trouble with it, it wasn't really that hard. It only took 1 or 2 tries. And that is me done with Nutty Acres Act 2. And after unlocking Act 3, I moved on to, Act 3. The first thing I did was complete the Grunty mission, where I had to steal the ancient coconuts from her, and it actually didn't really take too much. I expected it to be quite slow, as I was, but I also beat the mission after 20 seconds. It was surprisingly easy for a first boss. Anyways, time to move on to the Jinjos. I found the first Jinjo, where I had to take his friend to him, even though his friend is fake, I think. But that doesn't matter, because I found his friend. Also, this is the first mission where I used the Trolley MK2, since I could use that now. And if you're wondering, I did complete the mission. It was relatively easy. And after this, I found the final Jinjo of Nutty Acres Act 3, where I had to push him off a cliff and get him to a certain distance. It took a couple of attempts, but after a while, I did get it, and I was very happy. I unlocked the next game sphere for the next level, Logbox 720, and then I started Logbox 720 Act 1. I started and I immediately went over to Klungo to start his mission, where I had to put an antenna at the top of the building. But unfortunately, my car was just far too slow, and I wasn't able to get there in time for a TT trophy. But I was able to get there in time for a Jiggy, so that was good. I went over to whatever this hag's name is, but then I realised that doing this mission will require having passenger seats on my car, which the Trolley MK2 does not, meaning I could not do this mission, unfortunately. Next I went up to this Jinjo who left their book at the top of the log box, and I had to go retrieve it for them. It was relatively easy, there weren't too many hardships. And then I started the mission set by this Jinjo, who wanted me to achieve a certain speed. But no matter what I did, whether I was in the Trolley MK1 or MK2, I just couldn't build up enough speed, so I wasn't able to get the token on this one, unfortunately. And after that, I moved on to Act 2. Immediately, I went to Humba first, and then I found out that it was a Log's Choice mission, meaning I couldn't do it. I then moved on to Bottles mission, and then realised it was a Log's Choice mission. Oh no! I went up to the Jinjo, and then I realised that was also a Log's Choice mission, and I also couldn't do it. I frantically left the level and I rode up the hill in Showdown Town to get to Log, since, maybe he could have told me something. But no, he didn't tell me anything. And I only had 5 Jiggies, and I needed 8 to get to the next act in any of the levels, which was Act 4 of Nutty Acres. So, effectively, I was stuck. The challenge was impossible. So unfortunately, the challenge was impossible. But it's not like this challenge was unfun. Sure, it might have been a bit, annoying at times, but honestly, I think I enjoyed myself the whole way through. It's just unfortunate that it was quite short-lived. It only lasted around an hour and a half, which is still a bit longer than I thought it would, but, it's not that long. Honestly, if you haven't even played this game normally, I would actually recommend it. It's very fun. It really brings out your creative side, unless you're an old Banjo fan, in which case you're old and go back to bed, grandpa. Anyways, like and sub if you enjoyed, and bood, ga!